What's up, guys? Today we're going to be talking about the Earth's crust and the way the tectonic plates move. And in order to find out what the tectonic plates are and to really understand it, we have to look at a map of the world. So we look at a map of the world and we see our 7 continents: North America, South America, Antarctica, Africa, Europe, Asia, and Australia. And we take a better look at how the Earth is made up, and we say, why do the continents look the way they do? Why are they spread out like this? Well, the Earth can be thought of as kind of like a jigsaw puzzle, and if you look at this slide, you'll notice that there are these lines that go around like a puzzle. So those are some of the tectonic plates, and they show how our Earth is always moving. And the way the Earth moves is that the crust moves together. Now, what's the crust? Normally we think of a crust as like on a pie or a pizza or something. The Earth has a crust, and think of it like one of those gobstopper candies where the inside looks like one color and then it goes out and further and further and further. Each level of the Earth is kind of like that. Now you have the crust, which is basically like the white part of this candy. It's the outermost layer. On top of that is the part that we live on. So think of it like that. Now the Earth's crust can be looked at on a map, kind of like this cross section here, and you can see on this map you have volcanoes, you have different things happening. The Earth is kind of going into each other and whatnot. So if you look at this slide here, it tells you the 3 different types of movement within those tectonic plates. Now remember, those plates with those jigsaw puzzle pieces, and they're always either moving or rubbing together, pulling apart. Okay, so we're going to look at divergent right here. The one on the left, all the way over, it looks like the crust is pulling itself apart, making new crust from lava. Think of it like when you get a cut on your hand and new skin will form. It's sort of like that. If you look in the middle, the convergent movement of the tectonic plates, that's when they're going to slam together and one part is going to overlap the other, and that's going to really make mountains, and it's going to push some of that land straight up into the air. So that's when you see those mountains, that's what we're talking about. And the third way is that it can literally rub like side to side, and that's going to be what an earthquake feels like. You see it rubbing together like that, and it's going to literally shift the land. Let's check out the rest of this video to find out a little bit more about tectonic plates.
Seems obvious now. I mean, just look at it. The notion of moving continents all started with Alfred Wegener. He noticed the continents appeared to fit together almost perfectly like a jigsaw puzzle. And if they used to fit together, that means they must have somehow moved apart. He noticed fossils of certain animals had been found in Antarctica, India, and Africa. How did the same animal end up all over the world? Before, geologists thought land bridges had connected the continents and were now submerged or eroded away, or else they swam. Remains of an ancient fern had also been found on 5 continents, and ferns definitely can't swim. It just didn't make sense. That wasn't all. The same types of rocks and mountains lined up continuously between continents. It was a convincing body of evidence suggesting that continents moved around during Earth's history. So obviously, geologists finally had proof that Earth's crust wasn't static. It was constantly changing. They're even moving right now. Can't you tell? Well, probably not. Every year, the spreading at the Mid-Atlantic Ridge pushes the Eurasian plate and the North American plate just 2.5 centimeters farther apart. But over millions of years, that really adds up. The Ring of Fire is where denser oceanic crust is moving underneath the less dense continental crust. 90% of the world's earthquakes and most major volcanoes occur along this margin. Monstrous eruptions and destructive earthquakes change our world every day and influence the lives of humans all over it. Just like the surface of our dynamic planet, the story of plate tectonics shows us it can take a little while before earth-shaking ideas change the world. If you catch my drift. Stay curious.